Hello, you. I'm Pete Donaldson from the Football Ramble. I'm joined by Jim Campbell from the Football Ramble. This is Forza Ramble.
Yeah.
A chance to just look at us in a room and watch us talk about football, I guess. And ask questions.
Yeah, you can interact with this one.
What do you want us to talk about? What do you want us to wear? We could change our clothes. We could swap spectacles if you needed to.
Anything, we'll do anything for you guys. You know that.
Yeah, so do get in touch on the Facebook page. I am waiting for your call, so to speak. I'm just trying to figure this out. So I've never done this before. I've never hosted a Forza Ramble.
Actually, you can use us as just agony aunts.
Yeah,
if you don't want to talk about football.
If you're having problems in your life,
or even
if you're having a lovely time, just get involved, say hello. It would be lovely to get into
to help.
Yeah, the first couple of mentions are talk about Joey Barton. Talk about Joey Barton. Talk about Joey Barton. We're not going to start with Joey Barton. We're going to start with John Terry's club, Chelsea, who played Southampton.
They did. Yeah, and it's back off, isn't it? The title race.
Well,
seven clear again.
That was. But didn't we say 6 is a title race?
Luke said that.
Luke said 6 is a title race, so you were just one off a title race, one draw off a title race.
When Spurs play.
How many matches are left? I mean, it's the start of the season. This is the part of the season where I go, we've got about 5 matches left, and we really haven't. Yeah, we're running out very quickly.
Well, you hear stories of players being out for the season, and you go, oh god, that's not that long, is it?
Isn't Zlatan out for 10 years? I think that's what I've heard.
Joey Barton is
rather tragic. Yeah, so Joey Barton. Been a naughty boy, and he's been removed from football and all football-related activities. So presumably, can he tweet?
Can he tweet?
Can he tweet about football?
Does his player have to come off FIFA?
Good point. Yeah, that's a good point.
Does that release a patch?
Does that cover likenesses? Yeah, I don't know. It seems very strange.
It was over 10 years as well, wasn't it? All the stuff. So
was it? Okay.
Naughty boy.
Why did he keep doing it then? Was it just kind of like he thought, I'll just keep doing it because it's something to do? I'm not very clever.
I daren't think about it.
I daren't speculate or think about it. So yeah, that's a pretty big loss for his team because he's played all right this season.
Yeah, and they need everyone on deck at this point, don't they? David Moyes has been charged as well.
Yes,
and we were
not for betting,
for the
threatening a woman,
threatening a lady thing he did. And we were discussing this. Quite often you hear of players being charged by the FA, and then there's no news of any fine.
No.
So what is the charge? Is it just like it's on your permanent record?
Yeah,
like someone has to mention it every time they write about you, or
you know that
you get detentions.
In every newspaper article, you've got to write woman threatener, David Moyes, and that's all you're allowed to write. You're not allowed to just use the word David Moyes. You've got to have WT at the start of everything. WT Moyes, that's his name.
Maybe
now.
like his FA licence or something has that on the front of it, so it becomes his football name.
I think it goes, those record of achievements you used to get when you left school?
Yes.
What? Have you not left school, Jim? You looked at the cameras as if to say you had never left school.
I don't remember any specific achievements, is more what I was thinking.
But you would have like your A-levels in there, your GCSEs and stuff, and then you'd go out into the world with a little covering letter maybe, maybe a CV.
With that on a handkerchief tied around a stick to make your way down London.
All down to London. I was off watching, it was Crystal Palace versus Newcastle. Has nothing to do with the actual story, but we did lose 5-1. So, and
of course you did.
And I was in a pub and I noticed that there was like a record of achievement behind the bar, as if someone had gone in with all the hopes and dreams in the world and just stayed there for the rest of their life. With apologies to people who do work in bars, it's a noble profession, and I do fill your pockets readily.
Yeah, it's one you and I need
just to get through.
Yeah,
£5.20 a can of lager, a pint of lager. It was last night.
That said, though, if you did automate bars, the money you save on employing these people, you could probably lose a bit off the price of drinks.
For a fact, would computer and robot automation never it decreases the price of anything. If anything, they've got to outlay a load of money to get the robot barman in.
Yeah, initially.
But that is passed on to the consumers for decades. That becomes the basic kind of amount of money you have to pay for a pint of lager.
Prices don't go down, do they?
Either way, Chelsea versus Southampton. Did you enjoy the match, Jim?
I did. Yeah, it was great. A lot of excellent goals in it as ever. Eden Hazard. It's just what happened to him last season. It's baffling, isn't it? It's absolutely baffling. Well, he just looks on fire.
Well, he got PFA Player of the Year, doesn't he, this season before? Because I was at that ceremony and I saw Roy Hodgson eating dessert.
Nice.
And he saw me trying to take a surreptitious picture of him, which is good. He just felt a bit, didn't he? I don't know what. It's the Mourinho effect, isn't it? He rubs players up the wrong way, and people occasionally don't want to play for him.
Very good thing for Chelsea from last night is that Diego Costa scored twice, and he'd had a bit of a drought. There was a lot of criticism of him from ourselves as well, and they need him firing if they're going to get it over the line. And he certainly fired last night. What are the people saying though, Pete?
The people are basically saying
thoughts on Joey Barton. Thoughts on Joey Barton.
Yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of Joey Barton chat, a little bit of Lee Charnley chat. I mean, it's hard, isn't it? When you
don't know what's libelous.
When there's open investigation, I know it's libelous. It's an open investigation, so we can't really talk about a lot of it. But what I would say is that would be so Newcastle if we got punished by losing 12 points and possibly demotion as well.
Oh my God, is that a possibility or is that just you
Swindon Town, I think. Swindon... Don't be rude, Jim. Swindon Town were involved in some financial impropriety. To be fair, Newcastle, over the transfer of Amdi Fair, do you remember him?
Yeah.
They got in a whole heap of trouble for not paying tax on that, I think, or either way the HMRC got involved. So they're well aware where the filing cabinets are in St James's Park.
Flaming in a skip.
But I just like seeing Lee Charney's head on the telly and in newspapers because it's so round, like so round. It's like Penfold.
There's something really special about a perfectly round head.
Beautiful, beautiful. I interviewed the wrestler Dave Bautista a few days ago, and he's got quite a round head.
Has he got quite a small head? Because the rest of him's so big.
Yeah, I mean, big wrestlers do generally have like pinheads because their bodies are so blooming massive. Apart from the Undertaker, he's got quite a big head. Hello to Rob Nansikavel, I'm going to go off with. Should Mourinho get a Premier League winners' medal for keeping Chelsea out of Europe and helping them win the league this year?
Yes, he should. He absolutely 1,000,000% should. That would be great, wouldn't it? Or he should demand one, or at least apply for one. I think
so. It says there's a little note from Facebook saying the number of people watching your video is increasing.
Ooh,
that's upsetting, isn't it?
Yes. Get involved. Give us some likes. Do some of the interaction stuff.
There's little.
I like seeing those little things fly across the
video. Can we do our own little? I'm going to click love.
Oh, you can, and it's gone right on my penis. That's what. This is news, isn't it?
If you click love, it occasionally appears on Jim's penis, which is quite good. And not on mine. I'll put this sad face. There we go. Yeah. It's back on your penis again. Can you feel while I sneeze?
Yeah, that's very appropriate for me, really. So do get involved with that. That's surprising.
Paul Doyle wants to know whether you've forgiven me for my dirty slide tackle.
Oh, I've forgiven him. We're a team in this, but we're both still... You see the graze on Pete's leg there. I don't know if my bruise is showing up, but...
see?
Certainly
you should have drawn blood like
worse.
me. You should have drawn blood.
You've come off worse there.
Well, I did two of them. I did two of them, which is
scarred
a bit
the
of a
pirate LeChuck.
I have, yeah. It looks like he's being sick out of his hat. We did a slide tackle on Monday's show on the video that we put on Instagram and on Facebook and stuff. And turns out Marcus can sort of ride a tackle. Jim plants his leg on the floor.
Yeah, well, I thought you were going to pull out of it. And then, like a good just Catholic. Watch the video.
But I mean, what I would say is, Jim, that you are known as being quite a clumsy man.
Yes.
So you constantly have to plant your feet on the floor. Yeah. You need to know that you're not going to fall over at any point.
I also accept that in something like this, where we're doing something quite physical, I will probably just get hurt.
Oh dear! Why have we not played football in ages? I really want to play football.
Yeah, we should. It's been too long.
Play football.
So yeah, how are you feeling about old Newcastle getting promoted, Pete? Because hasn't Rafa Benitez said he wants 100 million for assault on the Premier League?
Did he actually say 100 million?
Well, that's the speculation is one of those things where there's no sources, but it says that's what he wants.
I think that Rafa Benitez will not be leading Newcastle United in the Premier League.
Just enjoy it. Enjoy your life.
I can't enjoy
There's so much going on in it to be appreciative of. You hate it all.
You know what Newcastle United are like. Basically, Rafa is a player. He's a manager who loves to buy players.
Yeah.
He bought like 70 odd players at Liverpool. He bought 6 left backs, and like the powers that be were going, Rafa, surely you don't need another left back, and he's going, give me another left back.
It's like when Bleeding Gums Murphy's addicted to Fabergé eggs in The Simpsons.
Yeah, exactly. He just loves a left back. So yeah, I think in many ways the amount of money that Mike Ashley will be prepared to spend on the team next season will not be
100 million.
It will not be 100 million. I know that for a fact. And also, they sort of set the ground for this by releasing those financial kind of speculations about what's going to be happening next season about a month ago. Mm-hmm. Now Rafa's sort of said, well, there needs to be conversations about how much I'm going to spend, blah, blah, blah. So I think he might leave. It's a win-win for Rafa, really.
Is it?
Well, yeah, it is, because he could go to a better club after a promotion.
I don't know. I mean, what sort of level are you thinking, though? Because getting Newcastle out of the Championship with that squad shouldn't have been that difficult and didn't prove to be.
No, but I would say that they did buy a lot of players, and that takes time to get them settled. And although they limped over the line, I think it was quite clear that the players that they had weren't quite good enough to destroy the top of the league.
Well, Peter Beagrie, of all people,
he of the
motorbike hotel incident. He said yesterday that he thinks Matt Ritchie, Dwight Gale, and John Joe Shelby are the only players who will be guaranteed to feature in the Premier League next season. Is that not a bit harsh on some of the players? Just three of them?
Not really. Well, not really. I think it's harsh on Jamal Lascelles, the captain, who sort of played his way with his mouth into that position. It would be sad to see him lose the captaincy, and it would be sad to see him not play every match. But again, he's not that good a defender, so you sort of need the best players on the field. And I don't think John Joe Shelby's a starter for the Premier League, because he's raking.
You're lucky I'm not Marcus.
He would have grilled me.
Yeah.
Well, he would have he spends his time whacking these Hollywood passes across the field, and you're not going to get that kind of time. You'll get that space, but you won't get that amount of time in the Premier League. I think if we keep hold of Atsu for another season, I'd quite like to see him play again. Otherwise, we're going to have to be raiding our youth and B team. Sammy Amiobi for the Premier League once again. So yes. Eamon Walsh says, Jim, are you tempted to get a Brighton season ticket given Arsenal's travails?
As I now live in Islington, no.
John Terry for Newcastle. Daniel Ferry, is that a Ramble t-shirt pick? No, it's not. It's a other podcast called Regular Features. So I'm representing someone else's podcast on this feed.
What the hell?
I don't have a Ramble t-shirt. Actually, no, I've got 5 in a carrier bag under my sofa.
So. Who's who on there?
That's a guy called Gav. Matt,
of us.
Log. That's very you.
You think? Yeah, that's
very
me.
you.
Me, Marcus.
Neither
of those are quite.
No,
not us,
that's Luke.
That's why they don't look like us. That's Luke.
He's a tall, heavy-set guy.
You don't have a beard, but you sort of might as well. You might as well have
it's a lovely beard. Gav's got a lovely beard. Want Tim Krul back from loan? Rob again. Rob's given us so much help.
Yeah.
So much help.
Albert Luque, perhaps. Cisco.
We have got quite a few players on loan. It's quite interesting. Hello to Josh O'Brien. David Moyes to take over from Rafa. Doesn't even have to move house. Don't do that to him.
Imagine that.
He'd love that. He'd love that because he'd be more miserable than ever.
Yeah.
Because
he'd relegate Sunderland and then relegate you again.
He's ruining an entire corner of the UK.
It's like when Alex McLeish hated the Midlands. Just went around starting fires all over the place.
Oh dear. Let's have a look. I love you too, Jack Dean.
We love you too, Jack.
Hello, Jack. Jermaine Jenis versus Alan Shearer on Celebrity Deathmatch. They were going toe to toe, weren't they? We spoke about that sort of briefly.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, Jenis is a much younger man, but you'd still fancy Shearer in that.
Yeah, well, I don't think Shearer's forgiven Jenis for saying that Newcastle's a goldfish bowl. Just be better at football, Jermaine.
Oh,
just be better at football.
Controversial.
David De Gea has been told he can leave Manchester United by Jose Mourinho. This does seem like it might be happening.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? Because it is. I mean, it's
because he's brilliant.
Yeah, because
he's in the team of the year, wasn't he?
I assume so. I don't really care about the team of the year.
No,
it's one of those things that's like the fixture list.
Sideshow, isn't it? It's like one of those FIFA pack openings. It's like
whatever. Some players were good. We can see that. We've been watching.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's gathering steam, isn't it? The rumour. So I wonder where this has come from, because it seems unusual that Mourinho would leak something like this himself.
Really?
Yeah, no, but because why
he's the leakiest leaker in the leaky world.
He's the best goalkeeper in the league. Why would you be trying to get rid of him? Unless his head's been turned and he's just like, you know what, let's get this out of the way.
I mean, he was out the door though, wasn't he? He was on his way.
He was almost on his way,
until they couldn't buy any players. So yeah, it would be a big loss for Manchester United because he pulls them out of games.
Yeah, he's a fantastic goalkeeper.
And the fact that they don't concede a whole bunch. kind of wills out those stats, I think, to a certain extent.
I completely agree. I don't know why you want to get rid. I guess to reiterate, the only thing I can think of is he always had his heart set on Madrid. Isn't his girlfriend from Madrid?
Right.
I think he is too, because he came through the Atletico youth ranks, I believe.
Right.
So yeah, I think they would just want to be in that city. And we've been to the Bernabeu. Did part of you want to play for Real Madrid when you were there? Do you know what I mean? You see the appeal of
I'd probably do it.
Imagine this every week. This would be amazing.
The one thing I noticed about being there is that the proportion of women were much higher than any Premier League or any other football thing. And so the actual pitch of the shouting was just a little bit higher, and I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Also, the amount of people openly smoking weed was
there's a few bifters on the go. I mean, when we went to see Barca Inter Milan back in the day, there was people shelling seeds, peanuts, and just bifters on the go left, right, and centre.
Yeah. So another strange sort of
have you ever smoked a bifter at a football match? Let us know.
The strange side effect of it, though, is quite often when good things happen...
Getting hungry and eating bad food.
Yeah, getting hungry and eating bad food. But people laugh. Because they're really high. So people are just giggling at the things happening on the ground, on the pitch, which you don't really get here.
Yeah, you do at St James's Park.
That's the away fans, though, right?
Laughing at our financial problems. Hello to Zach. Are Liverpool safe in the top 4? Surely Manchester United, Manchester City and Arsenal have too many tough games left. I think they're doing all right, aren't they?
They've got a very good chance, but they need to stop doing stupid things like losing to Crystal Palace. That's the thing you always worry about with Liverpool a little bit. So my gut feeling I think they will finish in the top 4, but I think it's probably between them and United, really. I think it might be a bit of a stretch for Arsenal now.
Well, Arsenal versus Leicester. You're playing the champions
tonight. Yeah. So that's we'll see how that one goes. It could go either way, that, because Arsenal look a bit more confident after the FA Cup, but Leicester are, resurgent. Will they be all right after their Champions League exit? Will that have a long-term knock-on effect? I'd like to see Arsenal win confidently. That was the best thing about the game at the weekend. They looked confident and they won with a bit of style and grit, and we've been missing that for a long time. So,
but don't they always kind of kick it into gear around about this? Well, not around about this time of the season.
Usually earlier than this, but usually when it's like when the
margins are getting thinner, aren't they?
Yeah, quite, yeah.
Hello to... Tom says maybe De Gea loves the dank herb. We're not going to refer to that. Graham Rooney, Pete, would you prefer a 10-point deduction now or at the start of next season? It's going to be the start of next season, isn't it? I don't want one now.
That isn't going to happen.
I mean, because we'd have to go into the playoffs, wouldn't we?
What, at the start of next season?
No, like now, because we get a 10-point deduction now.
So funny. No offence. Actually, I don't care if you're offended. It would be really, really funny. Because as you said on the show a little while ago, there's no way you'd get up through the playoffs now. Just that.
Will Joey Barton be doing better the week? No. Angus, thank you for that.
Angus.
Hello to Grant as well.
Actually, well, I mean, it might be now. I can't stop him betting.
Grant wants, Pete, any thoughts on Pards being linked to the vacant Newcastle job? The Aussie one, by the way. Can he permanently be ruled out of managing ever again if he ruins 2 clubs with the same name? I think so. I think that's fair. That should go on your permanent record.
But aren't you just sort of, banned from managing clubs with that name from then on?
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't think Pardew's going anywhere for a while.
Anything with Castle in the title. Zach says, currently listening to this. With my girlfriend, who always kicks up a stink when I listen to you lads in the car. Can you please let her know that she's undeniably wrong? I can't let her know. No, you're definitely in the right. Definitely
she really
in the right. So well done, Zach's girlfriend. Brendan Rodgers for the 2, and if Benitez leaves, I wouldn't be averse to that. Just as long as it's not Moyes.
That would be an amazing appointment.
As long as it's not Pardew, as long as it's not... Really? What? Brendan Rodgers?
Yeah, I mean, well, he's just, he's tearing it up with Celtic.
He's making a city not that better. Difficult. Yeah, but he could put his imprint on a new city. Well, people could be going...
Sunderland fans coming up to him going, you've really made this rivalry mean something again.
How far off is the live show in Australia? Josh O'Brien. A few miles.
Yeah.
A few thousand miles, you'd imagine. Do come to the live show. I'm really looking forward to doing a live show again. We had such a lovely time on the book tour just before Christmas. And the Hackney Empire is such a great place to do stuff. So there's just loads of room to dick about in.
Yeah, there's so much room. Yeah, it feels really intimate. It's great. So it's the 27th of May. You can get tickets from the Hackney Empire's website or just follow our social channels. Or if you ask Pete nicely enough, he'll probably just give you a ticket, having bought them all. You've got an outfit ready, haven't you, as well?
I've got an outfit ready. I've sorted out my costume. So yeah, it's It's going well. It's going well. Can't wait. I've even edited some videos as well, so we got some new videos on the way as well. Just a lot of Joe Smith, favourite Simpsons episode. Completely non-football related, but we're taking it.
Tough one, isn't it?
Mine is the one with the Sweet Expo, where Homer has the gummy de Milo on the.
That one is very good, and they do that reconstruction.
Yeah.
I'd have to think about that for a lot longer.
Michael says, how many trillions will Man City threaten to spend and then not do so? They've spent enough over the past few years, but they do need a whole redux, don't they?
Well, the thing is now, like the idea of like this huge, like massive summer spending spree where a club spend like 200 million. That could be 4 players now. It's absurd.
Well, especially when you're a City, or a United or a team like that. Bearing in mind there will be another United in the Premier League, hopefully next season.
Barring a points deduction.
Yeah,
barring
a points deduction.
Gone from pessimistic to arrogant now.
It's so quick. I think that, you're right. It is only a few players now. And also, when you're a big club like Manchester City with big, deep pockets, people just go crazy when they
absolutely. There's a premium,
the asking price.
Premium on the Premier League and a premium on a club like City as well. So they probably do pay hugely over the odds for the players. I mean, look at John Stones, a good a player as he is, at 50 million or whatever it was. That is madness. The problem is, Pep Guardiola really probably does have quite a bit of surgery to do on that squad if they want to challenge. So it is going to be something 200 million minimum, surely. They'll be spending in the summer.
And just all his best players in the last match they played seemed to be their older players, which is just like, come on, guys, pull your fingers out. Who have we got? Jesus. Jesus is the only one you sort of go, oh, he's had a good season when he's been fit. Oh dear. James says, watch yourself, Moyes will give you a slap for that. Rob says, I saw the Football Ramble live in Cardiff. It was well worth the money. So there we go. Thank you for that. That wasn't even our best show. Fantastic.
No, it wasn't.
Pete, can you take us on a tattoo tour, Sean? What does that involve?
Yeah, what does it mean? Does that mean
drinking and tattoos?
Your legs off? Like a tour of your tattoos?
No, I think it's just, like a tour of... Oh, yeah, right, okay.
Do you have any more?
I've got a few more.
Have you got any secret ones that we might see at the live show?
In my live show, I might get my tramp stamp out. So I said my live show. In the Football Ramble live show.
Yeah. What is a tramp stamp, dare I ask?
Do you know what a tramp stamp is?
No.
It's like a stamp on the, usually like a Celtic kind of configuration, on a lower back.
Ah, right. Okay. So like one of those sort of cliched ones, like a tribal tattoo.
Yeah, exactly.
Or a butterfly.
Yeah.
To show what a free spirit you are.
Exactly. Thomas Holland says, are Liverpool the modern day Robin Hood, taking points from the strong and giving to the weak? That's a lovely bit of work.
I don't know. They don't really get the points they've taken from the big teams, though, do they?
No, I guess not. Damien Cunningham, Arsene Wenger is Principal Skinner.
He is, isn't he?
David Moyes is groundskeeper Willie, according to James.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sean. Just unnecessary.
What's that?
He's just written that. Unnecessary.
No.
Hello, also to
it said ho tag.
Paolo says United Airlines is a new PR disaster after a giant rabbit dies on UK flight. Pete, react. What do you mean? I'm not king of the rabbits. I don't have to speak for. When like something terrible happens in the news, they always get a spokesman from the community going, we obviously find these attacks deplorable. It's like, don't play the game. Just go, of course we do, because we're human beings.
I don't think this is a terrorist thing though, is it?
We can't rule it out at this early stage. That rabbit was linked, alright? I'm just saying. That rabbit was part of Big Rabbit, Big Carrot. He was part of Big Carrot.
Well, Lord Ramble did message us about this slightly before we went on air, which confused us both. But
he loves a sad story.
He does, yeah.
He's like my mum. Like, whenever someone dies, whenever someone's ill, my mum is always the first person to email me going, look at this. So she forwarded me the Newcastle United West Ham news. And let's not forget West Ham are in trouble as well.
Yeah,
but it's funnier that Newcastle are involved.
Yeah, it is.
So yes. So just keep your messages coming in if you're watching on the live stream. And do click those. I'm going to click that little button.
Is it still on my... Oh, it's moved. It's not on my
It's not on your crotch anymore. Hang on, I'm going to find one that gets on your bits.
Okay,
Josh O'Brien says, can Tottenham maintain top 2 and a stadium integration, is the question.
That's a big question, actually, for them, isn't it?
I think they're going to have a miserable season next year, and it's all going to be Wembley's fault.
I don't know if they're definitely going to be at Wembley yet, because there was talk they might stay at White Hart Lane. I don't know the details, but
I'm fairly certain that's not allowed.
They must be worried about Wembley, though, because of their form there. But then that said, playing there that often, with a little bit of experience of it so far, might be tough. But I do wonder about this.
And they weren't terrible in the football match over the weekend, of course.
Yeah.
Shall we talk a little bit about Pochettino? Apparently Xavi is his enemy.
Oh, this is amazing. Again, it's like this whole thing of managers and players being really honest this season, because Xavi's been saying, Dele Alli's brilliant. I think Pep Guardiola, my good friend Pep, would really like to buy him. Because he always does that. He was always talking about Fabregas's Arsenal DNA and all that stuff. He's like Eric Hall. You know what I mean? He's like a
monster.
Like an agent for some reason. And so Pochettino has just said, I've never got on with Xavi. It goes back from when I played for Espanyol and he played for Barcelona. I remember he did this laughable dive in a game once, and he said, that's a penalty, the ref gave it, none of the press reported on it, and he's my enemy, I hate him, he smells, he's a dickhead.
I'm loving it.
It's really like just
I'm loving this
really
Pochettino backstory, because he's quite a quiet, considered man. It's just nice to get a little bit of... This is like watching where Wolverine came from.
Yeah, it is.
Why are you so good? Because you never talk about anything. Turns out he does have vendettas against people.
Yeah. Well, he's also he's always ruled himself out of even being able to manage Barcelona because of his Espanyol background.
Right.
Okay. So there's a bit of talk that Zidane's under pressure, genuinely. So who knows? Maybe he'll rock up there. Probably won't.
Semis of the Champions League.
Yeah. Level on points with Barca.
Level on points
with
the
game in hand. But no. If he doesn't win anything,
pressure.
It's ridiculous.
Outrageous. This is his first season, isn't it? Proper season.
First full season, yeah. But a lot of this comes from the Spanish press. We talk about our own tabloids, but blimey, the Spanish ones are pretty bad as well.
To get a blimey out of Jim, I mean, come on. Wow.
Get out of town.
So keep your messages coming in. If you don't answer them right now, we can always touch on them in on the Ramble on Thursday as well. Just a lot of people asking, will United get top 4, win the Europa League, or manage both? I reckon there's a good chance they'll do both things.
Yeah,
even with Zlatan out.
Again, a lot of it it's going to be tough. There is a big battle, I think, between Liverpool and United, and to a degree City as well, to get that place. I can see them doing both. Yeah, it's because they're just not losing games, are they? So, but Zlatan is a big miss. But then Rashford's just coming to form. It's a tough one, and Rooney's back. So imagine that if Rooney just starts firing on all cylinders 10 years ago.
Well, he looked decent. He looked decent in the match against Burnley, wasn't it? He was sort of he looked involved,
lively.
He looked alive.
Had a rest. And on a hot streak.
Anthony Martial obviously costing the club $8.5 million for scoring that goal.
It's funny, isn't it, how Mourinho has been digging these players out, and actually it's been working. He's been getting results out of it.
But I just like that because in the contract it was $8.5 million if he scored 25 goals, I think.
Not sure.
And I think he scored that amount of goals, and because he scored that goal against Burnley. He had
to sell someone.
Well, exactly. I mean, that is a pretty huge amount of money. That's a central defender, isn't it? Really, that's central defender money.
A promising young player.
A promising young player.
But
I just think that he was also involved in the assist in the other goal as well, Martial. So I reckon he knew he was going to score, and he knew he had to put in a performance because people are going, I'm not paying $8.5 million for that. I'd rather get rid of him.
I wonder, is it done now, the contract? Or is it, if he scores another 10, it's another $5 million?
I don't know. I mean, it was a pretty hefty fee in the first place.
Yeah.
I mean, 8.5 is but a fingernail, isn't it, really? Anyway, so thank you for joining us this afternoon on Forza Ramble. It's the first time I've hosted, and to be honest, I didn't know I was hosting, so sorry if it wasn't very good. But
sorry if it wasn't very good.
That's how I live my life.
In the podcast
that's how I live my life.
Sorry, it's been a bit shit.
It's been real. It's been emotional, Jim. Thank you very much for joining us. Do big up digs of the live show, and we'll see you on the Football Ramble Bet365 show on Friday morning. See ya.